The only bad experience that I have with this whole breast augmentation was the first night. Remember I said I was afraid of needles. They had to literally inject me 5 times, guys. 5 times. Because my veins just, I was so tense and so scared that like my veins weren't allowing them to like inject and like pull out blood. Like it was the worst experience of my life, and it was just because I was so nervous. They had to actually send me to another clinic because they couldn't like inject me anymore at that clinic, because they were like, literally, like, we can only try 4 times, like we literally can't anymore. She's like, if you want to still try today, go to this clinic and try to get your blood drawn there. So I ended up going to this other clinic, and I remember there was like this little lady. She reminded me of my grandma, and she was Cuban and she spoke Spanish, and she like was very like outgoing and like fun, and she like comes into the waiting room and she calls my name out, and I go to the back with her and my mom, and her and my mom start talking it up, blah blah blah. She like starts setting me up. I start getting nervous. She could tell I was starting to get nervous, and mind you, this whole time she's just talking to my mom. She hasn't even like really acknowledged me, and she's just setting me up, whatever, and then she like turns to me and she's like, let me ask you something, what's your favorite type of food to eat? And I was like, oh my god, my favorite, and I start to think, and I'm like, oh my god, my favorite food is rice. Boom. And she puts the needle in. I look at her and I start cracking up. I was like, oh my god, like you did it. And she's like, keep telling me, what's your favorite food? And then I finished telling her, I was like, rice, beans, chicken, and like she draws the blood out. She like had to take like 3 things out, but like she was talking to me and she was just trying to distract me, and I didn't even feel the needle, and then she drew out the blood and then everything was fine. That's a little story from that part. And then nothing, I ended up coming home, and my mom decides on her own that it was the day to tell my dad. And when I say that, I mean that we had a pact. We were supposed to talk about this. We were supposed to plan this out, maybe buy him his favorite food, do something. Well, no, she took it upon herself and she decided to just say it. Usually like my parents like sit in the living room, and I'm like, if we're gonna eat, like I get in the kitchen, and like the kitchen's connected so we can like see each other, right? So I'm in the kitchen making myself some food, and next thing I know, my mom just blabbers out, oh, so you know that Denise is gonna get her boobs done? In Spanish. And my dad's like, what? And I look at my mom and I'm like in the kitchen and I'm like, that's all I kept doing to her. I was like, what is wrong with you? Like I was freaking out. Cause I was like, what? We were supposed to talk about this. This is not how it was supposed to go. Like she just caught me so off guard, and I was so nervous, but I was like, we're gonna have to put it together and sell this. I just like look at her, and then like he looks at me, and I was like, okay. And I walk to him and I sit down on the couch next to him, and I'm like, listen, I know you're not gonna be happy with this decision, and I understand why, but hear me out. This is something, and then I just like give him a whole story, and I just tell him like basically like, you know, I've always been insecure and I've thought about it for a very long time, like not years ago I was thinking about it, and finally, and I told him, I was like, we went to consultations in May and I didn't decide till now. It's almost a year later, like literally 7 months later, I'm deciding to do it. So clearly I really want this. I understand that it's dangerous, I know, like I'm changing my body and like but it's just what I want. I'm gonna pay for it myself, and I'm doing it. And I'm doing it on this day, and I'm just gonna let you know. But I'm not asking for permission. I'm just letting you know out of respect. But please understand where I'm coming from, and I promise that you're not gonna hate that. Like, you're not even gonna notice I have a boob job. Because I'm sure in his mind, he's like, oh my gosh, he's gonna walk in looking like Playboy, which there's nothing wrong with Playboy. But for my parents being so strict, like, I'm sure he was envisioning something crazy. And then on top of that, it's surgery. So it was just like a lot, and I understand that. But basically I had that conversation with him, and he was kind of like, you don't need it, like you're beautiful. And I was like, I know you're gonna say that, but you're my dad, like you're supposed to say that. He never agreed to it, but he was like, whatever, at this point she's paying for it, there's nothing he could really do. Nothing. I ended up doing it, and I went to the surgery day, and this is how the surgery day went. Basically, you wake up really early. I woke up like at 4 a.m. The night before, they have you wash yourself with Dial soap, and you have to like wash the area with Dial soap. You can't put like any perfumes, no nothing on. I got operated in an actual hospital. So we ended up going to the hospital, getting there like around 5 in the morning. I took my best friend with me, Janine. We were there waiting in the waiting room, and then they bring you to the back. They prepare you by yourself. And I was just in there by myself, just like thinking. And I was like, okay, well, this is it. Like, I'm gonna get it done and I'm gonna commit. I knew that the lady was gonna come in any second now and do the IV, and I was so nervous. But I was like, you know what, God, I don't want this to be like the last time, so I'm just gonna relax and I'm gonna trust you. And I remember I just like laid there and like I prayed, and I was just like trying to relax. And the nurse that was gonna do the IV comes in, and she's playing meditating music. And she's just so calm, cool and collected. Like, she made me feel way more relaxed than what I was already feeling. And she just comes in, she's like, hi, how are you? Like, so polite, so nice. She's like, I'm the one that's gonna do your IV. And then like, I give her my arm and she like massages my arm. And like, mind you, this whole time there's like meditating music playing. So I was like laying there with my eyes closed, and I was just like enjoying the moment. Cause I knew that she was about to like put a needle in my arm. But in my mind, I was like, okay, let me just make pretend like I'm in like a beach with like a margarita or like a pina colada in my hand. And I didn't even feel the needle go in, and that was it. And she put the IV, and so the surgeon comes in and he like talks to you. He has a marker, so you like stand up straight, and he like marks your body, and he shows you exactly where your boobs are gonna fall, how they're gonna sit. Like, I mean, at least my surgeon, very detailed, explains. He like charts, like I had like lines going everywhere. And then he asked me one last time if I was sure about my size, and I thought about it for a second, and I was like, you know, I was thinking that I kind of want more cleavage. And he's like, well, if you want more cleavage, I'm gonna have to go up to like 300 cc's. And in my mind, I was like, oh my God, like, to go from 275 to 300, I was like, oh, I don't know if that's gonna look too big. Like, and I was like, no, it's fine, it's fine. I don't want to second guess what we already agreed on. And then he goes, what I can tell you is this: you gave me a photo. Do I have permission that if I put in 275s and I look at the photo you gave me, if it doesn't resemble that photo and you need to go a little bit bigger, do I have permission to put bigger to resemble the photo that you showed me? And I was like, yes, that I will approve, because I know that I'm gonna get what I'm showing you. And he's like, okay, so if I put in 275 and I need to go bigger to give you the photo, I'm gonna go bigger. And I was like, all right, don't worry about it, do it. And so that was our agreement. Then the whole thing with like the IV happened, and literally within 2 seconds, I was out. I was sleeping before they rolled me out of that room to the surgery room. They say that when you fall asleep under anesthesia, it's like the best sleep of your life. That's exactly how I would literally describe it. Like, you wake up and you feel so rested. I don't remember exactly how long the surgery was, but I think it was only like 2 hours. And when I woke up, I just remember him being around me, my mom being next to me. And right away, he let me know that he had to put 295 cc's because 275 was too small to resemble like the photo. And I was like, it's fine, it's okay. Like, 295 isn't too crazy. And then he said that everything went great. Oh, the incision. I knew I was forgetting something. Guys, there's multiple ways that you can put in an implant, and I'm gonna tell you all the ways right now. So they can either cut you around your nipple and create like a half moon and insert the implant that way. They could do an incision under your boob, insert the implant that way, or do it under your arm, which doesn't really end up being under your armpit as they describe. It kind of ends up being a little bit more off to the side, but the incision is so small that by the time it heals, you just can't even see it. They can insert the implant through there. And the fourth way is through your belly button, which that way, not a lot of surgeons do it because it's like a little risky and it's just like a lot of work. So most surgeons don't do that operation, but they basically like open up your belly button and like scoop the implant somehow and do the surgery that way. I did around the nipple just because, number one, I knew I wasn't going big. Therefore, if I did under the boob, which is normally what most girls do, I didn't know if my boobs were gonna like hang low enough to where they covered it. I was afraid that if I was like out in a bathing suit and I would lift my arms up, like you would see it. Like, I just didn't want it to be visible. So I was like, let me just go around the nipple, because that for sure is gonna be in private all the time. And then also, I didn't know how I was gonna scar, because I've never like broken a bone before. I've never really been cut before, so I didn't want to risk it. So I woke up and he was like, everything went great, you know, their surgery went perfect, you look good, how do you feel? And in that moment I was fine. I just felt really, really cold. That was like the side effect that I got from the anesthesia, is that I just got cold chills. They had to come and put a bunch of blankets on me when they were moving me from the bed to the wheelchair, because you really can't walk yet because you're still like, you know, drugged up. I got really lightheaded and they had to like put crackers in my mouth and serve me juice, but that was honestly it. Like my experience with the anesthesia wasn't that bad. And then they put me in the car and then they took me home. They give you obviously painkillers, they give you your scar cream. I don't remember exactly like all the things that I had to do, but I do remember that one tip I have for you guys is buy a lot of pillows, because you're gonna be in your bed for about a week and you want to be comfortable. I bought like 6 of them and I loved it. It was the best decision I made. So I like got home, they put me in the bed, my mom just like set me up. You can't lay down once you get your boobs done. You have to like lay sitting up, so you're literally like this, and you kind of have to sleep like this as well. So like I had like the little thing you put on in the airplane, and I like slept like this because you can't lay down yet. You can't lay down for like 2 weeks, I think, or like a week and a half. You can lift your arms up. I think you can only lift them up, I think after the first week you can lift them up midway, and then after 2 weeks you can lift your arms up all the way. My pain honestly left my body after 3 days. I was off painkillers. The painkillers they give you are so strong, and if you read the side effects of those painkillers, it low-key is worse than the pain you're feeling in that moment. So I was like, I just want to get off of this as soon as I can and like move on to like Tylenol or like something less intense, you know? So I was off painkillers in 3 days. My pain wasn't bad at all. The only bad experience that I have with this whole breast augmentation was the first night. What happened was that you're supposed to take your painkillers every 4 hours. Of course, you just got out of surgery. Your pain is gonna be intense if you don't take your pills on time. If you take your painkillers on time, you won't even feel the pain, because I didn't. And I also know that I didn't really feel the pain because my boob size wasn't too drastic. Therefore, think about it. A woman's body to get pregnant takes 9 months for her stomach to stretch out enough to hold the baby. When you're getting a boob job, you're instantly, I am working. When you get a breast augmentation, you're stretching out your skin instantly. So think about it. You're going from like being super flat chested to like expanding your chest skin to like either a B or a C size boob job. Like, it's just crazy to think about because it's instantly happening. So that's putting your body in a lot of stress, but it's not that painful. The first night, I made my best friend sleep with me, because I was like, you know, if I freak out in the middle of the night, if something happens, like I want you to be with me because my parents are not gonna hear me. So my best friends ended up sleeping over, and my mom, I guess it was time for my pills in the middle of the night, and my mom said she walked in my room and she saw that I was still sleeping at the time that I had to like wake up to like take the pills. So she's like, oh, you just looked so peaceful. I just didn't want to wake you. I just decided to let you sleep. I don't know why she would ever do that. Guys, I have never in my life felt the way I felt that night. I literally remember just waking up and I was like, Janine, I can't breathe. Like, I felt a pressure on my chest as if somebody was like squeezing my chest like that, like squeeze. Like, it just felt so tight and tense. Like, it was horrible. I literally felt like somebody was suffocating me, just in a way where they were like that is what I felt. It was horrible. Actually, I'm gonna call Janine and I'm gonna ask her to explain what it was like, because I know that she's gonna remember. She better answer that whore.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, I'm filming the video. I put you on speaker so they could hear you. What did you experience sleeping next to me the first night of my breast augmentation?
Yeah, it was a fun experience. No, it was more funny than anything. I was kind of really worried at first, spending the night next to you on your first day back from the hospital, and after, you know, having the surgery. So at first I was scared, you know, but as the night went on, you were so calm to a very kind of weird degree, but you were taking the pain so well. I guess that was why you're so calm. And then
and why were you scared then if I was so calm?
Because I thought it was gonna be the most painful experience of your life, and you're just here like so normal. I'm like, when is this gonna hit? So I'm like, okay, so she's good. Like, this is not what people make it out to be. Like, she's so strong. Like, I really don't know what it is, but like everything's good.
Yeah, because everybody made it sound like it was gonna be the most painful thing ever in life.
Yeah, they made it scary. Honestly, like I was scared to spend the night with you.
Yeah.
I took one for the team. Like, whatever. Right?
That's right.
So
it's a real one right there.
You were the real trooper though, but I was there for you.
No, you definitely were.
You go to sleep, and then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, it's pitch black, dark, and I just hear like.
Oh my god.
That was my favorite part. Hold on, you're like.
How dramatic!
Actually, honestly, come on. Like, anybody in, like, excruciating pain would have been like, ah! You get me? Like, you were literally so, like, graceful about your pain. You're like, Nini.
I'm dying. I call her Nini, guys.
Yeah, so you call me Nini. She's like, Nini. And she's, like, tapping me a little bit because she couldn't move. Like, you couldn't move. You were in that one position. I'm sure you've explained how like, you can't cross your legs.
Yeah, you have to like lay like sitting up.
You're in that one position. You're Nini. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I didn't get it. Like, because I was obviously half asleep, like waking up.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Type of thing. And you're like, I can't breathe. Like, you just couldn't breathe, talk. Like, I feel like you were kind of like the air was like taken out of you. Right?
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It felt like I literally was getting like squished down in my chest. Yeah, like stomped on.
Yeah, you told me, you're like, I feel like you're getting stomped by like elephants or something. You said something about like elephants.
Oh my god.
Like an elephant is like sitting on your chest.
Oh my god.
I remember something about an elephant. I think you said something like if it was like on your chest, something like that. And I was like, oh my god, like what do we do? Like, then I did get scared because I'm like, how bad is this, you know? But like, you were so calm that you wouldn't make anybody think that it was like a regular headache or whatever. But your reaction was just like funny to me because it was so calm and you were dying. You're like, my chest, and then you couldn't like talk, you couldn't like really breathe much. So like, I got your mom. When she came in the room and she like gave you your pills or like she said something and we were like, but what time is it? And we realized that it was like so far past the time that you were supposed to take it. And we're like, why didn't you come in here and like give you, like, why didn't you go in there and give you the dose?
Yeah, why didn't you wake me up? What?
She was like, it's that I came in here and you were just sleeping so peacefully and like beautifully. Like something like that in Spanish.
Freaking moms, bro. She's
Yeah.
such an angel. I'm like, oh, it's okay, mommy. Like, I know you weren't. You didn't mean it.
Honestly, I think that you took that entire process and surgery so well. I mean, you don't really know. Nobody knows how their body's going to react. But, like, for sure, like, that's something I would have been terrified doing. And, like, seeing you makes me feel like, wow, these are some dramatic-ass people.
Thank you. I was like, oh, I hope I wasn't being, like, dramatic.
You were like, oh, give me water, and like that's it. Like I feel like you didn't require anything. I don't know. It was so easy.
Oh, well, thank you.
You recovered quickly too.
I did. I recovered so quickly. I was telling them in 3 days off pain meds. Like it was such a speedy recovery. But I'm gonna finish the video. But thank you so much for explaining to them because I wanted them to hear from you. And I love you. Thank you so much for being there that day.
Love you.
I'll never forget that.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that was honestly the worst day out of the whole experience. After that, I stayed on top of my meds, and like I said, 3 days later I was off pain meds completely. I took Tylenol maybe for 2 days after and like sporadically for 2 weeks after, but then after that I really had no pain and my scar healed perfectly. Be on top of your cream, guys. That's another advice I have. Be on top of your cream to dissolve the scar because you're gonna be way happier if you don't have a scar. So what they say with a boob job is that at the 6-month mark is when they start adjusting to your body. And then at the year of your boob job is when your boobs have settled into your body, and however they look at the year mark is how they're gonna look for the rest of your life. And that's the truth. At the 6-month mark, the swelling had already gone down a bit. They looked more normal. They were getting their shape more. What they look now is what they look like a year later. And they haven't changed. I never wear bras. I like love my boob job. I'm so grateful for my doctor. I'm so grateful for the experience because it was an easy experience. It wasn't a horrible one. They do say this. They do say go bigger than you originally decided to. Reason being is because once the boobs do settle into your body, they do kind of look smaller. All the swelling has gone down, but I'm happy and I love my boob job, and I feel like plastic surgery is not something to like shine this huge light on of how amazing it is, but I think that at the end of the day we just all have to be happy. So that's why I got my boob job and I'm happy, and I wanted to share the story with you guys, give you guys a little bit of knowledge on what I know about breast augmentations. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm done. That is the story, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every week. I love you guys. Stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you guys here next time. Bye.